A warm welcome to you wherever it is you are reaching us from around the world. This is Enterprise Weekend, reaching you from Enterprise Television. I am Henry Igwebike. We'll be starting off today from our newspaper headlines just to let you in on all that we have for you this morning. And right after that will be our main conversation also for today. Please do well to be part of what we do. Have a say in what we say. You can always find and reach us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. We're very so honored to have with us joining us via Zoom, Lagos State, Nigeria, Emeka Madu Nagu, journalist, public affairs analyst. Good morning to you, Emeka.
Yeah, good morning and happy weekend, to you and to the viewer.
Thank you so very much, sir. So let's kickstart today with the newspapers, and the first on the list is the Guardian newspaper. Would I say fortunately or unfortunately, we do not have so much to talk about from our newspapers, and the reason is because every single Nigerian daily today is covered up with the birthday wishes to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They've all relegated other stories to the background, but let's take a look at the little that we have here. But of course, starting from the president himself, Tinubu seeks divine intervention over Nigeria's challenges as he celebrates 73 strong and still counting, he said. Emeka Madunagu, I'd love to believe this is not the best place to dialogue on whether it is 73 or more. Of course, he said it is, so we have to just agree to the fact that he's 73. But that is not what we...
73 allegedly.
Yeah, 73
He's
allegedly.
73 allegedly, yes. According to Baba.
73 allegedly. But my question to you is, what do you think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should be remembered for today as he celebrates 73? Looking at all he had done in the last 20 plus months in Nigeria, that's beginning to look like 8 years already.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, happy birthday to Mr. President. I wish him all the best, But for him to be talking about divine intervention in Nigeria's affairs, I think he's not helping himself. Because, you see, God has provided our own space of the earth called Nigeria, the same way he provided space to other countries. Every country has its own challenges, and their leaders are doing their best to fix their challenges. With intervention, it's as if God favored others, in terms of allocation of resources, and to the detriment of Nigeria. But I say that is not correct, because Nigeria has so many resources, abundance of resources. Natural resources, human talent, human capital, good weather, favorable weather. But you know what? Nigeria has a deficit of leadership, quality leadership. And that's why you will see the president talking about divine intervention. For Christians, when God told Israel, when God told the children of Israel, and he was sending them to a land filled with milk and honey. It was going to be a rough land, basically a desert. So that, they will not turn back and run back to Egypt. But when they got into the land of Canaan and they saw how it was, they set to work, they rolled up their sleeves and set to work. And for all these years, no more than 5,000 years, they have been working so hard, to make their nation one of the best in the world. Look at Israel now. 12 months agriculture, all-round agriculture. Israel is an oasis in a desert. You see so much poverty around Israel. But look at Israel. Technology. Look at technological innovations around the world coming from Israel. Israel, has some of the best businessmen around the world. Jewish businessmen in different countries. Look at the economies of the major nations of the world. You will see Israel's imprint, in those economies. And so where is Nigeria? The point is that we don't want to be competitive. We don't want to be part of, the global competitiveness index. We prefer to be throwing out figures, on GDP, rather than looking at the HDI, Human Development Index. And what do we find? What we find is that we're just deceiving ourselves. And it's too bad, because we have all the potential for this nation to be great. We have everything. Unlike Israel, look at Nigeria. We have everything to be great. We have no reason for anybody in Nigeria to be unemployed. No reason. I've debated this thing at different fora. And I said, the solutions to Nigeria's problems rise and fall with the leadership. That is it. You just need to mobilize the people. You just need to show the people, tell the people, galvanize them, motivate them. Just draw up a template. How are we going forward? Right? Just look at what Moses did. Moses took the children of Israel. He told them, this is what God has told me, that I'll have to take you to the promised land. Moses himself didn't enter the promised land, but he had already groomed a successor, a capable successor, known as Joshua. Joshua took the children of Israel into the promised land. And he told them that, look, listen, this is not a joke. Where we are going to, it's not a joke. We got to walk. We got to fight along the way too. We got to work hard. We got to the promised land. And look at the place today. Is it China? We want to talk about. Is it China? What was China in the 70s compared to Nigeria? Is it Taiwan? These were countries that were envying Nigeria, envying the flyovers we had in Nigeria, because they didn't have these things. Is it in terms of electricity? Nigeria got electricity so many years before many cities, in some parts of the developed world. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? But we had 5,000 people employed in textile industries in Nigeria. But what happened today? All the textile industries are dead. All of them dead. Why? Because the appetite for oil money, importation, everybody became an importer. Everybody became a clearing and forwarding agent because we became so lazy. So lazy. Everybody seeking oil money. Nobody wants to go and till the ground. Go into agriculture. Nobody wants to, do the hard stuff. All we want is easy money. And everybody is trooping into politics. And then the corollaries, you have crime, kidnapping, terrorism. Why? Because we think we're waiting for divine intervention. It will not come. We think God will intervene in Nigeria's affairs. God will not, because he has already given you all that, he has given us all that we need to build a great nation. We can continue deceiving ourselves. We can continue fooling ourselves. Our leaders can continue stealing our resources. We will remain poor. Why? Because God is a just God. He's a just God. He gives to A what he gives to B. And what is it? The intellect. He has given us the intellect. He has told us, go, like he told Adam and Eve. He said, go into the world, multiply, have dominion, increase, replenish the earth. That's what he told Adam and Eve. That's what he told everybody. What are we doing? We are more interested in the emergency rule in River State, removing elected, political structures. We are more interested in fighting over political offices. We are more interested in diverting, grains for farmers, diverting fertilizer, diverting funds meant for schools, meant for hospitals, meant for children, funds meant for roads. We are diverting, we are stealing everything. Is it the power sector? Is it the power sector? Look at Cote d'Ivoire. All the things we listed as challenges in the power sector, Cote d'Ivoire has conquered them. We are going to Egypt. Egypt that did not see Nigeria's back in the 70s in terms of electricity. We are going to Egypt to teach us about electricity. Is it not a shame? Where was Egypt when Chief Obafemi Awolowo set up the first TV in West Africa, and later radio. Where was Egypt when Nigeria started building dams in 1962? Tafawa Balewa started building those dams in 1962. Where was Egypt? We must get our priorities right. We must set our senses properly. We continue to fool ourselves because we think, oh, we can cry to God. On worship days, you'll see people trooping to different worship centers. People of different religions trooping. Hypocrites, not ready to use their energy, God-given energy, to transform this nation and make this nation great. We keep looking for people to blame. Oh, we are now blaming God with divine intervention. We are blaming God. Shameless people. What a shame.
It's very, very true, Emeka. We can go on and on issues regarding Nigeria. And it's even more worrisome that we have a president that everyone thought would have a change in paradigm. And rather than do that, Nigerians have cried out that he has followed suit in accordance to what other leaders have done, which of course is not saving the country, but of course seeing Nigeria go from bad to worse, unfortunately. But let's take a look at other matters making the newspapers, especially with the HOS, Head of Service, resignation in Rivers State, and the drama regarding the wife, calling Seminalai Fubara that she cannot give account of the husband. And little did we know that the man is enjoying himself, like he said, in a Transcorp Hilton. And equally the viral video of him trying to rehearse what has been written for him and the allegation against Seminalai Fubara. We'd love you to speak on that particular matter, please.
There's a prayer that people usually pray, that may we not become may we not become objects of ridicule in our old age. Is a prayer. I pity that head of service, Nweke. I pity him because the drama he has been enacting will not take him anywhere. Look, when politicians are fighting, they know why they are fighting. Nyesom Wike, the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, is fighting because he wants to control Rivers State. He wants to follow in the footsteps of Bola Tinubu, who has been controlling Lagos for about 25 years. That's what he wants to continue doing. And he wants to continue controlling, by extension now, he wants to control the Niger Delta. The 6 states of the Niger Delta. That is his veiled ambition. So, and you now find out, look at the video. What a shame. Somebody said in that video when Weke was rehearsing the script, he said, read what I wrote in the text. And look at the man's wife saying she doesn't know where the husband is. And the man came out to say, I'm enjoying myself in Transcorp Hilton. What a shame. Throughout his time in the civil service, did he ever use his money to stay in Transcorp Hilton? He's enjoying himself. Who is bankrolling his enjoyment in Transcorp Hilton? Transcorp Hilton is not a joke. The least room in Transcorp Hilton is very high.
Yeah, true.
I've been there a number of times. The room's very expensive. Now that's what somebody, a retired civil servant, is saying, I'm enjoying myself, going up and down. That people, come on. You just wonder. And the people playing out this drama they don't even respect the president. Today is the president's birthday. Look at Britain when they celebrate the birthday of the Queen, late Queen Elizabeth. Look at how it goes. They announce it all over. They will announce it all over the world. Today is the Queen's birthday. You will see everybody gaily dressed, people happily celebrating with the Queen. But in Nigeria, the president's birthday, they chose to eclipse his birthday celebration with this funny drama. Well, of course, Nigerians, should decide for themselves. But we told Mr. President, don't institute emergency rule in Rivers State. We told him, don't institute this thing in Rivers State because, look, it's not difficult. If it's about 2027, it's not difficult for you to sell your programs to the people of Rivers State like other Nigerians. It won't be difficult. It's not a do or die affair. If you've done, certain things, you put in place policies and all that, tell Nigerians about it. But now, as of Thursday, he gazetted the emergency rule in Rivers State and said that the sole administrator, will take actions based on directives from me, that is from him, President Bola Tinubu. So he has now jettisoned the National Assembly. He is the one who will be piloting affairs in Rivers State. Is that in the Constitution? Why is it that Nigerian leaders never learn from history? We have seen leaders come and we have seen leaders go. They keep making the same fundamental mistake. And that is believing that the office of Nigerian president is so strong, so powerful that he can do and undo. He can get away with things. But we keep telling them, the same people who are telling, who should tell the king that he's dancing naked. But they're telling the king, the king is wearing, beautiful clothes. The king is dancing, and while the king is dancing naked, the same people will mock you when you are no longer there.
Very, very true.
The same people will mock you when you are no longer there. So this is what is going on. You can see what it has been reduced to. Look at the script that Governor Simna Fubara was fighting for an Ijaw president. I mean, that was the most ridiculous. Whoever wrote it, should go to Nollywood and learn how to write movie scripts. Ijaw president. Where does that feature? Where has that ever featured? That it was so and so person that bombed that bombed the House of Assembly. That the governor who said militants, even though he was not, look at where they now expose themselves. Even though that he was not part of the meetings, but that the militants, the participants left with hefty sums of money. You are not part of a meeting, and then you are not part of meetings you claimed you are held by the governor. But you said the participants left it. Where did you see? How did you see? Were you at the gate? Or did you have a representative in the meetings who came with hefty sums? You see, when people are just, when people are driven by naked, raw ambition, they don't know where to, step on the brakes. And let me tell you, see this Rivers thing, it will not end well. For those behind these Rivers, these shenanigans in Rivers, it will not end well. When we warned Obasanjo about Ekiti and Plateau, then he thought we were joking. But at the end of the day, what happened? What happened? It remains a nasty point when you talk the same APC. Now APC is saying Obasanjo is criticizing emergency rule in Rivers State when he did worse. And I said, so what you are telling us that you are copying the unconstitutional things that Obasanjo did.
Yes.
What kind of leadership is that?
It's very, very true. And that is Bola Ahmed Tinubu, of course, setting yet another precedent for hopefully future presidents who do not want to learn from history, like you did say, would equally take. And it's so very unfortunate that the repercussions, of course, do not delay. They come because it's a natural thing. We truly do hope that that Nigeria would be a better place, especially with our leaders and knowing what they should do. But lastly, let's look at the Saturday Punch newspaper. And yet again on Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan. Natasha's recall. Senator petitions IG, Kogi Commissioner of Police as kinsmen tackle INEC. And there is a growing viral story of the husband of Natasha Uduaghan as petitioned the lawmaker, the senator from Ebonyi, with defamation over what he said on national television and all. I'd love you to speak to all of these matters, if you may.
Well, I think the husband of Senator Natasha should not just stop as threatening to go to court. He should sue that senator, Ebonyi. You should sue him. You don't make such comments about people's wives. You can't. You don't. You don't. Saying such rubbish about garbage about somebody's wife, you don't. You know, people who feel they cannot use their senses should be taught a lesson, you know, through constitutional means. Then, as for the recall process, it is dead on arrival. Because one, the groups that are behind this are not registered. According to the Corporate Affairs Commission, they are not registered. So on what basis is INEC receiving recall documents from them? Two, INEC initially claimed they didn't attach the addresses. Less than 24 hours, INEC said they had got the addresses. Then, the next thing, INEC is saying it will go and verify the signatures collected, you know. What are we saying? Of course, the police they have to be impartial, although I don't have any trust in them, but they have to be impartial in this matter. Because what we are seeing now is voter intimidation. We can now clearly see that the former governor of Kogi State, Yahya Bello, is now putting himself into the matter. I don't know why these people don't learn from history. You can see that President Bola Tinubu clearly does not fancy you as somebody he should work with. But you're trying to push yourself in to replace Natasha. In what way? People are talking of the case in the Senate. You will want to now gain from it. How? Nweboyi, of course, you can clearly see that, you know, he is, you know, what is his pedigree? The other day, he was exchanging words with Obi Ezekwesili, who is old enough to be his mother. Obi Ezekwesili, who has a distinguished, rich pedigree. But what do you have? This is Nigeria, where people emerge from nowhere, you know, and they are just foisted into positions that are bigger than them. So, let Natasha keep speaking. She must keep speaking out. She must keep speaking out. She must keep updating Nigerians about happenings in her constituency. And sincerely speaking, she's going to triumph at last. The recall process will fail. Was it not in the same Kogi State, in Kogi West, where they tried to recall Senator Dino Melai, you know, some years ago? It failed now. It failed because the people they were expecting to come out for verification didn't come out. People they expected to come and vote for the recall didn't come out. It's the same thing that is happening here. Our constituents are saying that we were deceived into attending an empowerment program. That when we signed those forms, it was for, you know, the empowerment program. You now took our signatures to INEC as signatures for recall of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. So all of those matters must be considered. What are we doing to ourselves in this country? The only motivating factor in all of this is the Nigerian treasury. Just to go and loot. That's all. There's no inclination, there's no motivation for service to serve the country. No. See, but just go loot the treasury. That's why I see all this fighting. But I hope we can get to a point whereby we'll have honest, courageous people in National Assembly who will put a stop to all of this. Not these rubber stamp fellows who even had to use a voice vote to, you know, to approve an illegal emergency rule. They were not even courageous enough to say, okay, I voted for emergency rule. They were not even courageous enough. Well, we'll see how it goes. But I do know that Natasha is going to prevail at the end of the day because Nigerians are with her.
Very, very true. We truly do hope so. And it's so sad, you know, whenever we hear things like this and see things like what we see today in Nigeria, internally, we weep for the country because of when we see where we're coming from and where we are today as compared to other nations we started with. Nigeria is really not a place anyone who truly do love the country would be happy for. It's so very unfortunate. And the leaders that have said they have the answers, do not obviously have the right answers, and it's so sad. Well, this is just about the time we have for today. And just to let you know that Emeka will be around to take us on our main conversation when we return. President Tinubu called governors condemn mob killing of 16 travelers in Edo. That in a bit, still Enterprise the weekend. Please don't go anywhere.